This is going to be really hard to convey. Not everyone watching this is going to listen. You're going to be like, why is he talking about that? That doesn't make sense. I don't care about this. That's fine. It's not for you. But there are some people who are going to listen to this. And those are the people that this video is for. Now, there's probably people watching this that have done loads of detoxing, got loads of plaque out of their gut, and they still don't feel good. And their body doesn't feel right. And they're probably like, oh, that detox, it's just not for me. It doesn't work for everyone. And I think I know why. Because if I didn't get this done, what I'm about to tell you, I wouldn't feel good now. I would be pulling my hair out wondering why I've done 250 days of juice fasting and I still feel like crap inside my body. And the reason is, there's a bone at the top of your spine called the atlas, or the C1. It's the topmost vertebrae in the spine. And in 100% of humans who are born in the world today, that bone is misaligned. It's off. It's not sitting right in the neck. And 1 year ago, I got mine realigned by a professional. It took 10 minutes. And what they do is they loosen all the muscles in the back of your neck and they pop this bone back into its original place, so it's sitting straight again. And what I've learned over the last year, the guy who did the procedure told me it was going to take between 1 and 5 years for my body to go through all of the changes as he described it. Now, what changes have I experienced? Well, I didn't realise how completely twisted up my body was. It was completely like so for one example, you see these two bones here, like the collarbones. Well, the left one was down here. All my life, I've always had asymmetry. It's always just been off. And I've always felt off. And I've always like woken up in the morning with like body pain and like stiffness. And like I've always had trouble like sitting with my back up against the wall. It always just caused pain. And always just muscle pains all the time. And it's been getting worse as I've been getting older. Loads of people can relate to this. I know you can, because your atlas is misaligned. And what it means is that over the years and years of just wear and tear on your body and living, your body is slowly twisting itself up, because this bone in the top of the neck is responsible for so many things that you wouldn't even think that that's what the bone is doing. So for an example, like once I had like an adjustment, so every day my body adjusts itself a little bit more back into normal alignment, and as that's happening, I'm getting like fuller breaths and my chest is opening, and to be honest, my diaphragm was all completely twisted up here. And I don't think, even if I did 5 years on watermelon juice, that this problem would have gone away ever if I didn't get this fixed. I'm convinced of it. And do you know what? It's easier if I just show you in a video. And this video is probably not going to make a lot of sense, but what's happening in the video, the clip I'm about to play, is this is what I do. So this is how I've been opening up my body. And this is all because I got my atlas realigned. And you'll see what I mean. Like I'm doing like a deep breath, and then I'm pulling my chest open, and then I get this rush of energy to the head, and it causes like a full body euphoria, and have like a mini fit. And it's like energy releasing. And that's the only way I can describe it, but I'll show you. Right, I'm going to try and capture this as best as possible, but this isn't something that you would have seen anybody do ever, because I've never heard of this problem or whatever it is, because it's so uncommon to get this realigned that people don't know about this. So I'm going to try and hopefully it conveys it. So if I breathe deeply, I'll feel like a constriction here where my chest isn't fully open, where the muscles and the skeletons have all been like fucked up basically. And then I'll breathe, I'll stand up and open my chest, and you'll hear it click. And then look, you can hear it now. Look, if I do this, you'll be able to hear it. Can you hear that? Look, I'll try and show you. Can you hear that? That's all clicking in, and it's been doing that for a couple of months as my diaphragm has been. That I'll show you. It's easier to show you. Hopefully it does it. And it's like, wow, I can't explain that feeling. It's beyond language. Beyond language. It's like a mini seizure, which looks weird. But I don't know. I think it's stuck energy being released. And my whole body feels euphoric when that happens. Which is cool because it shows that there's an ability to feel like that in me somewhere. But that's what happens. And then what happens is if I breathe, I can take deeper breaths every time that happens. And then my diaphragm starts releasing. I'll try and show you. Can you see? It's like it's stuck up here. And as I open the chest more and click the muscles into place, it's going into the right position. And then there's stuff that's been stuck and it's releasing and I can breathe better. And that's what happens. And yeah, I don't know, it's so hard to convey what's going on there, but inside it's like a full body, like a euphoric feeling of energy shooting into my head and like through my arms, and it's like, whoa, it's like an overwhelming energy. Colors get brighter when that happens. I see brighter, and like, it's just like, that's how our vision is supposed to be. Everything's supposed to be all like super colorful and stuff. But again, it's so hard to convey. But that's just one aspect of it. I've had like my toes like move into different positions. My face is becoming more symmetrical. So here, look, I'll show you again. Look at this. So like you can see before I got this done, I had this done a year ago. My face was asymmetrical. That's even after like doing bloody 3-4 months on juices and stuff. Like it never would have fixed itself. It's not a detox problem. It's an atlas realignment problem. But yeah, like you can see my face has just realigned itself and it's just becoming more symmetrical. And I'm seeing improvements every day. Like I'm becoming more mentally stable. But obviously the detox is I would say it's equally as important as getting the atlas done. But to say, for me, someone that's done all this detoxing and it's changed my life, to say that getting my atlas realigned is equally as important as detoxing and getting the mucoid plaque out, which is very important, then it is something. And I've got 1, 2, 3, how many people? 1, 2, 3, 4 people that I've managed to convey the importance of this to, and they've gone out and got their atlases realigned. And one of them says it's the most important thing he ever did. He doesn't shut up about it. And that was about 7 months ago, 8 months ago, he got his done. And he's doing a lot of detoxing as well, living on liquids. And he says the exact same thing as me. Here you go. I asked him actually what he thinks of it. And here's a clip of what he said.
The most important thing anyone can do, regardless of where they're at in their health and wellness journey, is to get their Atlas C1 vertebrae permanently set back in place by a professional who specializes in a very specific procedure that puts this back in. Doesn't matter how many times you go to the chiropractor and he snaps your neck and cracks it. Doesn't matter how much fruit juice you drink. It doesn't matter how many type of muscle workouts you do, fascia, whatever, you name it. None of that matters, because that bone cannot get itself back in place unless it is permanently set back in place by a professional. And this is the root cause of our dysfunction. I can say that with supreme confidence based on what I've experienced in the 7 months since I got this done. If you don't have this taken care of, you're never going to achieve an optimal level of health, and things are going to be harder for you than they need to be. So go out and get your Atlas C1 permanently readjusted and watch your body slowly regenerate.
So yeah, and I've got a couple of other mates who've done it a bit more recently. For me, it took like 8 or 9 months for the real changes to start happening. So it's like, once you get it aligned, it's like it sends like a message to the body like, oh, we're all in line now. And then it slowly readjusts itself as fast as the body is able to, because obviously everyone's damaged differently, we're all twisted up differently. But like my whole entire upper body was completely twisted around in a way that I would never have even known. I would never have known. I would never, ever, ever, ever have known. I would have gone my whole life without ever figuring this out. And I would have got to a certain point of detox and thought, this is as good as it gets. This is as good as humans can feel. And that's that. Now, it's interesting as well, why do we have this misalignment? 100% of people, the only people that don't have the misalignment, and I've heard this from 3 practitioners that do it, there's only 144 people in the world that use this specific technique. It costs them like 30,000 euros or something to learn how to do it. And then obviously, do you know what I mean? And it's just not very well known. Like, who else is talking about this? And it's not like a surgery or anything. It's just they loosen the muscles in your neck with a tool, and then they pop it back into place. So there's like these muscle fibers in your neck that really hold it in tight, and then they loosen it and then pop it back into place, and then the muscles go tight again, and it's fixed forever. It takes 10 minutes. The guy that was doing mine, he said to me, I said, how many of these have you done, mate? And he said, I've done thousands, but I still get it as excited every time as I did the first time, due to the profundity of it. And the woman that did 2 of my mates' atlases, she said that if 10% of the world got this done, the whole place would change. It would save the world, because everyone would just be in line. Like, it releases energy. It's like there's an intentional. I think we've been intentionally edited at some point, because it's 100% of humans have the misalignment. So if 100% of people have this problem, then surely that, like in normal like biology, that indicates that there is no problem, right? Because if 100% of people have hands, that means we're supposed to have hands. Or if 100% of people, you know what I mean? So I think we've been edited. Like, there's like stories, and like if you look into like conspiracy stuff, you'll see that we've been like edited and like fucked with and just messed around with. So yeah, I think that's what's happened. The only people that don't have the misalignment are those born from a mother who had hers corrected. So that's the only people. So a baby if the mother gets hers corrected and then she has a baby, that baby's born with a perfect aligned atlas. So it shows that it is like it's a genetic thing. So we've been edited. There was like a pool of people, they edited everyone, and then now we have like modern humans, and we're all like broken, depressed, like we're all fucked up. Like, you see people walking around, they're all hunched over. People hunch over as they age. I think this is why. Like, this is a big deal, and you can get it fixed. It takes like 10 minutes. You go to a practitioner, they'll usually consult you for free. I'm not like trying to shill for these people. Like, I don't know, like you just need to find someone local to you. I'll leave a link in the description, and there's like a directory, and you can find, it's an independent practitioner. You'll just find someone who knows how to do it, and there'll be a list of people, and you can find someone. And this, if you've got like muscle pains, bone pains, like you feel stiff, like this is why. Like, obviously it might be because you've got plaque in your gut, because that doesn't help, but this is it. Like, this is the root cause of all like the muscle stuff. So yeah, hopefully this video like lands with some people, and you can get your atlas realigned. And if you do go and get it done, please leave a comment and just write like your experience, because I would definitely be very interested in that.